The following is a tutorial video on how to write a Java program in Eclipse that will print a face like this one here. As you can see, this is a face made out of typical text icons, sort of a skeptical face perhaps. We're going to learn how to create a program that will create this face when it runs. Alright? The first thing we do is make sure we're in the right place. This video presupposes that you already have basic knowledge on how to create a class and a method. To begin, we have to make sure that we are in the body of whichever method we would like to put this in. The body is within the curly brackets right next to the method parameter. So here we go. We have we're in the right place. We're in the body, as you can see. Now, the main tool we'll be using is called system.out.println. Alright. Now, system.out.println is a function that will print something out, maybe a variable, maybe just a string of text. But unlike another very similar function, print, let's do system, or here. Unlike its sibling function print, println will go down one space after it prints the text that it's programmed to print. Let me show you an example. Let's look at a print function and then see how it runs and then compare it to a println function. As you can see, I have two system.out.print functions, and in one I'm going to put these quotations and I'm going to say hello, and then I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to put viewer. Alright, now even though we've got these on two separate lines, the one thing you should definitely know is that these lines are really more for organization than anything. We could have it like this and it'll work just as well. But the main point is that when you print this out, hello and viewer is going to be on the same line. Let's run this function and see what happens. We see hello viewer, alright? And hello viewer is made on the same line. If we wanted hello viewer to be on different lines, if we wanted hello to be here and viewer to be right underneath it, we could use the println function, which will automatically send whatever the next output, whatever the next output is, and put it one line below. Let's put println here. Let's run this, and look at that. Hello viewer right beneath it. To make our face, we're going to be using the println function because as you can see from our picture here, it incorporates multiple lines, our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And the println function will be a quick way to getting those all in the right place. So if you have your face like this one, I made this in a couple seconds, just got it out. You can take your face, highlight it, copy it, alright, and then when you get into Eclipse, you go to your first print line. Within the quotation marks, you paste the first part of your face. And what I'm going to do is, to save time, I'm just going to copy and paste a lot of these. So paste, copy, paste. Alright, how many lines is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So we need 7 print lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's get 2 more of these. Alright, so we'll just copy and paste each individual line and put them into our print line functions. So we'll do that really quick. Here we go. Okay. Wait. Last line. Uh-oh. So, now we have our print line function. We've copied and pasted each line from our face. Let's see what happens when we run this program. Here we are. Look at that. We have our skeptical face printed out very well. So let me run through really quickly one more time everything that happened. We have our class. Alright, we have our class. And then here we have our method. Theoretically, this should be able to work in a main method or, you know, some other method in some other class. It's not terribly important. To make things simple, we just put it in our main method. After the parameters within the curly brackets, which is the body of the method, we use the system out print line. And again, the system out print line, when it has quotation marks within the parentheses, it'll just print whatever text it sees. So what happens is, when we ran this program, the computer said, alright, here we are in our main class, so I'm going to start here. What's desired of me? Okay, it sounds like someone wants me to start off by printing out this line, and then after printing out this line, the computer says to itself, alright, the user then wants me to go down to the next line, to move down, and then print out whatever is here. So I'm then going to print out all this stuff. And the computer does that, printing out each individual line, and once it gets to the end, it sees that there's nothing left to do, and so it finishes running. And so printed out here, we get our skeptical face. One thing, just a few minor notes. If you are making a face or getting one from the internet, some things you put within these parentheses will not work. And let me just show you a quick example. So here we have our block-headed gentleman, but let's assume we wanted to turn him into some other rectilinear shape. Let's say we wanted to round out his jaw a bit. So here's what you might be tempted to do. You might be tempted to use a backslash here and a forward slash here. And what you can see is we're getting an error, and it says invalid escape sequence, and it's giving us a list of things that we cannot have. All right, that's because in Java, things like these slashes will tell the computer to do particular things that we won't want it to do when it's making our face. Another thing that we can't use is parentheses, for example, because then the computer will think, alright, when it gets to this line, let's say we use parentheses to do like stubble in his beard. when the computer gets to this line, it'll look and it'll say, all right, what does it want me to print? It'll see that what it wants to start out with is, it begins here with this first parentheses, but then the computer says, all right, it wants me to print nothing, and then to indicate it stopping, the computer looks out for the second pair of parentheses. It sees this, and so it thinks, okay, the user wants me to print everything in here, and then the computer says, but what the heck is this stuff over here? I already started off with the first parentheses, I looked for the second one, found it, and that should be everything that the user wants me to print, but what is this gobbledygook nonsense? So, again, there are just some symbols that you can't use for your face with this method, but you should be able to create all sorts of different faces. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. This tutorial was created by Group 5 from the Golden West College Java course. Alright, goodbye.